This report that we present, Mr. President, is the 40th. It's the 40th report on the situation in Darfur. Now, one can say it's taken too long, and I would agree. And too many lives have been lost, and that's true. But it underlines something very important, that the International Criminal Court is as strong as the support of states. It's as strong as the honor and the desire to fulfill the obligations of the UN Charter and enforce one of the most serious findings that can be made, namely a situation constitutes a Chapter 7, meets the requirements of Chapter 7 of the Charter. But it also takes us back, I think, to a time when this Council spoke with one voice to combat impunity and to try to respond collectively to suffering, to misery, to people that do feel in their daily lives they're too small to be seen by their own countries, never mind powerful institutions in New York like the Security Council. And when the Council took that action, it created a binding link, not only by referring it to the International Criminal Court as a judicial institution, but it provided and created and welded and forged an unbreakable link, or one hopes an unbreakable link, between this Council and the survivors and their families that we are seeking collectively to serve, to put them first, not politics, to put them first, not division, to put them first and their rights to the equal protection of the promise of the law. Now, I recognize, of course, Mr. President, this is a different time. It's a different age. It's a different moment. But I hope it's not naive, and even if it is, it's an obligation to at least make a simple request. Let us not forget or completely abandon the sense of unity that this Council is capable of by putting people first, allowing the voice of people to be heard over the clamour of politics and division and strategic interests. The trial that concluded last month was a tangible reassurance to victims that they haven't been forgotten. And Mr. President, that is something that they thank this Council for making the referral in the first place. But we also can't look away from the fact that if action is taken against the International Criminal Court, it will directly impact our ability to deliver on justice for the survivors, on the victims, on the people of Darfur that we've met and that are in this building today. It's trite, it's obvious, and it's right. Individual prosecutors come and go. Individual judges come and go, like ships that pass in the night. But the ICC as an institution was established and has a special relationship with the United Nations and is signed up to and supported by 125 state parties to protect the rights of the most vulnerable globally and across situations for which we have jurisdiction. So my prayer, my hope and my plea, Mr. President, is we resolve to work together to renew and reinforce the bond created between the Council and the ICC and the victims of Darfur and those that suffer so much today. And it's right, particularly today on Holocaust Memorial Day, when in this building you have heard, so many of you have heard, the world has heard, the voices of witnesses to the awful pogroms, persecution of the Jewish people and other minorities. 80 years ago, when Auschwitz was liberated and scenes of hell were recorded and presented in Nuremberg, and there was accountability, there was truth-telling. To honor those victims of Auschwitz, to honor the victims of crimes that we have seen in the intervening decades, maybe on a different scale to the Holocaust. But a promise was made of never again. It is time to fulfill that promise of never again, for the rights of all victims that have suffered so many crimes, whether it's in Sierra Leone or in Cambodia or in Rwanda or in the former Yugoslavia, in so many conflicts that we see today. If we can work in this new way, if for a moment politics and division can be silenced for a moment, and we focus on people that are innocent and vulnerable, hopefully we will hear the cries of the people of Darfur to justice. They are in need. They are in danger. And you have already determined that they have a right, by dint of Resolution 1593, they have a right to justice. It's time for us collectively to join hands and deliver on that promise to prevent this constant cycle of despair that generations of Darfuris have suffered. Thank you so much.